guys, we are back for another video reaction. This time we are back for Miss Billie Holiday. She was actually the one that came out with the song called Strange Fruits. I think it was from a poem, if I'm not wrong. I had watched the movie. It was on Netflix. I forgot the name of the movie, but it is about Billie Holiday's life style that she had endured during her rise to fame, and then also from the song Strange Fruit. Now, Billie Holiday, she is also a part of the political world when it comes to just her music itself, because it did touch a lot of people in the wrong way when it came to some of the songs that she created, because it did have to do with the Black community as well. And not a lot of people like that back in the days, but Billie Holiday did not care, even though she did deal with some addictions that she dealt with, just from the movie itself, from what it gave us everything. The movie was really, really good, and I'm probably going to watch it again. I just got to find a Netflix account. Anybody got a Netflix account I could use? But yeah, Billie Holiday, we're gonna get into the reaction. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, let's get into it.
And it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's
the fanatically racist commissioner of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, when she refused to stop singing a song that referenced lynchings. In 1947, Anslinger's men framed her for buying heroin, and when she finished her 18-month jail sentence, she found that her cabaret performer's license wasn't going to be renewed. This restriction meant she couldn't perform anywhere that served alcohol. Unable to return to her regular performances, she fell hard into depression and heroin addiction. Fast forward to 1959, she entered a hospital in New York. Before entering the hospital, she warned her family that she feared the doctors would kill her. After being admitted to the hospital, Holiday began to respond to treatment until Anslinger dispatched some of his cronies to prevent doctors from continuing her methadone treatment. She died just a few days later.
Now, since we can't play the original version of Billie Holiday singing Strange Fruit, I wanted to go ahead and play the version that American Idol showed. So yeah, let's get into it.
Scent of magnolia, clean and fresh.
Getting chills.
Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, together for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the leaves. Here's a strange and bitter cry.
Artist, but she hadn't acquired too many airs and graces. Her friends described her character as don't care-ish.
We were coming down Broadway, and she reached in and pushed the cigarette lighter in to light a cigarette, lit the cigarette and threw the lighter out the window.
She used profanity with the deftness of an ice skater doing a figure eight.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Bitch.
Natural. It was just the way she was.
This short Duke Ellington film was her next breakthrough. Billie played the role of a rejected woman. She complained she had to do so many takes of her scene, she was black and blue by the end.
Cafe Society was quite an extraordinary place. It was the first and only integrated nightclub in New York. It was started by a left-wing guy named Barney Josephson, a former shoe salesman, who was determined that blacks and whites should have a place where they could fraternize together, watch entertainment together, where the racial barriers that existed really in the rest of the country and even in much of New York City would no longer exist.
Approached by Abel Meeropol, a communist poet. He had a song he wondered if she might be interested in performing. It was a song about lynchings.
Somebody who'd been lynched, or knew somebody with a highly developed race consciousness and a sense of injustice, and she developed this intensely personal relationship with the song.
But I'm kind of changing inside. I don't want to think about it. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but it was, in a way, it was a revolting experience to listen to Billie tearing her heart out.
And said, "Billie, I want to show you some real strange fruit." And he showed her an obscene picture that he'd drawn on the napkin. And she picked up a chair and hit him over the head with it.
There is a strange
and soul into it, you know, made it indelible.
Completely. I think he felt at the time that this might be good for her, strange as that may sound, but that this would be a way that she could finally, you know, kick the drug addiction.
Billie Holiday had been expecting to be sent to a hospital. Instead, she was sentenced to a year and a day in a women's prison in Alderson, Virginia.
And the movie depicts all of this, guys. You guys should really watch it. It's on Netflix.
She refused to sing a note all the time she was there. She was eventually released on parole, on condition she stayed with Bobby Tucker and his mother in New Jersey. When she came out, she'd had nothing stronger than a cigarette for 9 months.
Her train from Alderson stopped in Washington, and she got off and scored. And I met her in Newark, and when she got off the train, she gave me a big hug, and I could see, she said, "Oh, lady," she higher in her career. I said, "How could you? There's no hope then." She said, "No, I guess not."
Her conviction meant she lost a cabaret card. Without one, singers couldn't appear anywhere in New York where alcohol was served.
We got her outside, and there was a bar next door, so we took her to the bar and got her drink, and she calmed down a little bit, but not very much. It obviously hurt her very deeply.
A few weeks later, completely emaciated, she collapsed. One hospital refused to take her, and she was eventually admitted to the Metropolitan Hospital, suffering from liver failure.
My first sight of her was frightening because the thing I remember is the hollows here. I mean, it was skeletal.
Of dying penniless. Thanks to Louis Mackay, this was a distinct possibility. But Bill Dufty managed to get an article about her addiction commissioned by Confidential magazine
And they put it in
and brought her $750 in cash.
She rolled the 50s up tight, 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 and then she slid them up between her knees into the orifice. And it was like a green transfusion.
They have put so much on her on the newspapers.
The miracle, or whatever, is
some was false, some was true.
She was able to have a safety deposit to the very end.
That end came on the 17th of July, 1959.
It was after midnight, and I was in this little anteroom, and I remember her nurse came to the door and she said, "Are you Bill? Is your name Bill?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "This is for you." And she had had a towel, and these were all the $50 bills, you know.
So she could stop
So
singing.
that was the signal.
Or she would die.
She was 44.
She was still very young.
She looked as if she had been torn from life violently, and she looked, you know, it was disturbing to see her there.
Wonderful song with poignancy that is almost undescribable.
Don't worry about me. I'll get along.
Don't worry about me. I'll get along somehow.
Forget about me.
Well, even now, it fit Billie so well. Jesus Christ, I'm ready to cry.
Let's say that our little show is over, and so the story ends.
Sorry, really, because she always was able to express herself artistically. A lot of people who become drug addicts or alcoholics, that's all they are.
She was living her life the way she...
Okay, guys, I'm going to stop the video right there. I don't agree with the last statement that the man made when he said she was able to express herself throughout her whole career. I don't believe that, because she was forced to, in her mentality, like she was forced to put out more because they, and y'all know who they is, back in the day in the 50s, they didn't want her putting out the type of music, and the type of music that she was putting out was things that had to do with the Black community, what we were suffering through, you know, as a Black community. Our ancestors, no, I'm sorry, not us, but our ancestors were suffering through in the back in the day, you know. And for me, I just feel like she would have still went that route, but she would have put out more when it came to, you know, subjects that she probably would have touched on more if it wasn't because of them. It was where she had to be more political with the route that she was going, and also push herself to not take the no for an answer from what they were trying to have her do. They were trying to push down everything that she was putting out and stop her from performing at bars, you know, because they didn't want her putting out that sort of music. And that's sad. Like, literally, the movie on Netflix, I forgot the name of it, but it's really, really good, guys. Like, y'all should go watch it. It really just shows just how cruel they were back then, and now it's just modernized with artists not being able to put out every single thing that they may want to put out. They have to go by what the label wants them to put out, you know, and what's politically correct for them. But guys, if you guys did like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.